Welcome to Castified. Today, we're plunging headfirst into a story from the absolute cutting edge of tech. We're talking about a world where the brightest minds in artificial intelligence are, well, they're being courted with sums of money that almost defy belief. Imagine like a high-stakes chess match, but it's for the future of AI, and the pieces aren't just code, they're brilliant human intellects. Our deep dive today is all about Meta's really audacious bid to acquire top AI talent. It's a move that's been sending shockwaves right through the entire tech industry. So our mission here is to unpack how this whole talent war began, who the major players are, what the numbers really look like, and maybe most importantly, what this all truly means for the development of something called superintelligence. Okay, let's unpack this. It apparently all started fairly quietly, actually, at a dinner party hosted by none other than Mark Zuckerberg himself. Just a small, hand-picked group, some of the smartest minds in AI, gathered at one of his homes. You can almost picture the scene, right? Polite conversation, maybe some nice wine, talk of the future, and then the pitch, an astounding $100 million offer to join Meta's superintelligence team. Just to give you a sense of scale, that's over 800 crore rupees. I mean, a truly staggering amount. And the result, apparently most of them took the offer. Just like that, Meta essentially built a brand new AI team, about a dozen top-tier people poached directly from rivals like OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google. Now, Meta, by most accounts, felt they were, well, pretty far behind in the AI race, maybe not making the right moves, is how some put it. So Zuckerberg decided to leverage his immense financial power to poach. It's not entirely new territory for him, is it? He has a history of lifting elements from rivals, famously cloning Snapchat with Instagram stories, borrowing TikTok's playbook for Reels, that kind of thing. But this feels different. Why? Because the ambition here isn't just about a product feature. It's about something far, far grander, as we're about to explore.
Yeah, what's truly fascinating here isn't just the money, though that's eye-popping. It's the sheer ambition behind this aggressive recruitment. Meta's goal with this new team isn't just, incremental improvements to existing AI. No, their aim is incredibly audacious: to achieve artificial general intelligence, or AGI, which is essentially a machine that can do pretty much anything the human brain can do. And even beyond that, they're setting their sights on superintelligence, a machine potentially more powerful than the human brain. If we kind of zoom out and connect this to the broader picture, I mean, these technologies are seen by many as potentially the most powerful in human history.
Right.
They could lead to breakthroughs like curing diseases, completely reshaping global economies, and even outthinking humans entirely, which is a big thought. So this begs the question, when the goal is that monumental, that transformative, is money alone truly enough? Is it enough to secure the kind of talent and, maybe more importantly, the collaborative spirit needed to actually get there?
You can absolutely imagine how this landed with Meta's competitors. I mean, wow. Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, initially tried to stay cool when these rumors first started swirling around. He even went on a podcast, remember, insisting OpenAI's top talent wasn't leaving, famously saying Meta would have to try harder.
Right, a bit dismissive and
Yes, exactly. But then came what many in the industry described as a real gut punch. A leaked internal memo from Altman himself surfaced, and he kind of dropped the calm facade, stating directly, what Meta is doing will, in my opinion, lead to very deep cultural problems.
Oof, strong words.
Very. And he didn't stop there. He drew this really stark distinction between OpenAI and Meta. He wrote, I am proud of how mission-oriented our industry is as a whole. Of course, there will always be some mercenaries. He was making it crystal clear. OpenAI, in his view, they're the missionaries, driven by a higher purpose. And Meta, well, by his definition, they're the mercenaries, driven primarily by the money. The internal sentiment at OpenAI really reflected this deep concern. Their chief research officer apparently described the situation as if someone has broken into our home and stolen something.
Wow.
Yeah, and vowed that OpenAI would be proactive, creative, and recalibrate to recognize and reward top talent. That's a strong accusation, framing this as a battle for the very soul of AI development. But is it really that black and white? What does this missionary versus mercenary debate truly reveal about the industry?
Well, it's certainly true that AI can be seen as a mission, right? A grand endeavor to advance humanity. Many people genuinely feel that way. However, while Altman champions that culture, the reality is, well, when someone dangles $100 million, even the most principled minds start to waver. It's human nature, perhaps.
Yeah, that's a life-changing amount of money.
Exactly. And stepping back a bit, Altman's stance about mercenaries versus missionaries, it feels a little ironic, maybe, given that his own board fired him and then he wrestled his way back to the company.
Right, that whole saga.
That whole saga makes his position perhaps a bit complicated, let's say.
Now, for employers, this kind of talent poaching raises a really critical concern. If talent is bought solely on compensation, there's always the risk they'll simply leave for more when the next big offer comes along.
Right, loyalty isn't guaranteed.
Not at all. It's like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in it if that hole is, a $200 million offer from the next company. It sets a difficult precedent. For long-term retention, companies truly need more than just money. They need robust employee engagement and benefit systems, a structured approach to work, and yes, a genuinely healthy company culture. Money might get them in the door, but it often takes a lot more to keep them there and ensure true loyalty and, frankly, productivity.
And Meta's aggressive acquisition didn't stop with that initial OpenAI group, did it?
No, not at all.
They dealt a really significant blow to Apple by hiring Ruming Pang, a move that really underscores just how chaotic and far-reaching this talent war has become. Pang was apparently a key engineer and manager who led Apple's artificial intelligence team, managed a substantial group, about 100 people.
That's a big role.
Huge. He was responsible for developing the crucial large language models that power core Apple intelligence features. Things like, email and web article summaries, Genmoji, priority notifications.
Core stuff for the new AI push.
Absolutely. And his compensation. Reports suggest tens of millions annually, potentially over $200 million spread out over multiple years, which exemplifies these massive packages we're seeing.
Right.
They're typically a mix, aren't they? Base salary, a hefty signing bonus often adjusted for any forfeited equity from their old job, and substantial Meta stock, all tied to performance targets and long-term loyalty, often with these extended vesting periods.
Yeah, golden handcuffs, essentially. Yeah.
It makes you wonder, what kind of pressure does that put on these individuals and on the companies desperately trying to hold on to them? Mark Zuckerberg himself is reportedly personally involved in this ongoing hiring spree, hosting potential recruits, actively reaching out.
He's playing the game hard.
Yeah.
And Pang's exit, it came at a particularly crucial time for Apple, as you mentioned. Internally, his team, the Foundation Models team, or AFM, had apparently been facing some scrutiny from new leadership. There were discussions about integrating third-party models, maybe from OpenAI or Anthropic, for a new version of Siri. And this reportedly impacted morale within the AFM group quite a bit.
Ah, okay. So maybe not just the money, but internal factors too.
Could be a mix. There are even indications that other engineers, including his key deputy Tom Gunter, were also planning to leave around that time. So it wasn't just Pang. But the intriguing aspect here is the sheer breadth of Meta's hires, beyond just Pang and that initial OpenAI group. It's quite something. We're talking about Alexandra Wang, the CEO of Scale AI, now Meta's chief AI officer.
Right.
That's huge.
Wow, okay.
Nat Friedman, the former GitHub CEO, is co-leading the superintelligence unit. Daniel Gross, former CEO of Safe Superintelligence, also on board, leading AI products. And then we're seeing even more top researchers pouring in from OpenAI names like Shuchao Bi, Weiwen Chang, Jilin, Hongyu Ren, Zhao Yu, Xingjie Zhao, and from Google DeepMind too, including Jack Ray, Pei Sun, and Johan Scholkwick, all joining Meta's superintelligence labs.
It's like an all-star team being assembled.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
In this immense talent spend, it's become the new signal to investors. It demonstrates momentum in the AI race. And frankly, no one wants to be the first to pull back, especially when cutting compensation risks, not just losing talent, but signaling a loss of momentum to the entire market. It's a high-stakes game of chicken.
So what does this all mean for the other side of the fence then? While Meta's been on this aggressive spree, OpenAI certainly isn't just sitting still, right?
Definitely not. They have to respond.
They are also scaling up their AI hires, bringing in high-ranking engineers from companies like Tesla, xAI, X, and yes, even Meta itself, including Angela Fan, who was indeed poached from Meta. So it cuts both ways.
Tit for tat.
Exactly. These new hires are specifically for OpenAI's scaling team, which manages the crucial back-end systems and data centers, the stuff that keeps their AI running smoothly. And Sam Altman has clearly acknowledged this fiercely competitive landscape. He's talked about plans to calibrate its compensation packages to incentivize employees to stay.
They have to.
It's truly a fascinating arms race for human capital. But at the end of the day, when you have companies throwing around hundreds of millions of dollars like this, does it really just boil down to who has the deepest pockets? Is that all it is now?
Well, look, the critical question here isn't ultimately which team wins this particular skirmish or hires the most famous names right now. It's the broader implications of this whole AI talent war for the future of the technology itself. That's what we need to think about.
Stepping back, remember that AI research is often driven by values, as Altman alluded to, And the best teams, historically, are not always the most expensive ones. They're the ones that are the most cohesive, the most aligned on a mission.
Right, culture matters.
It really does. And this makes Zuckerberg's stated ambition for superintelligence coming into sight an even more critical piece of this talent grab. It's a strategic move, clearly, to be at the absolute forefront of what could be humanity's greatest creation, or perhaps its biggest challenge. The core insight here, I think, is that this isn't merely a bidding war. It's a fundamental test. A test of whether raw financial power can truly buy the visionary talent needed to build humanity's most transformative technology. Or if maybe a shared mission, that cohesive culture, is ultimately non-negotiable for long-term breakthroughs. So at its core, this deep dive really shows us that this isn't just about the big salaries or these eye-watering compensation packages. This is a battle, really, for the very minds that will shape what could be the most powerful technology in human history. It feels like a fundamental clash of visions.
Right.
Money versus mission, short-term talent grabs versus maybe long-term cultural cohesion.
Exactly. And this leaves you, the listener, with an important question to consider, I think. If machines eventually do outthink us, as some predict, will they even care how they were built? Or perhaps, and this is maybe the more interesting angle, will the way they are built, whether it's through mission-driven collaboration or through aggressive high-stakes talent poaching, will that fundamentally shape the kind of superintelligence humanity ultimately creates? Something to think about.